ordinary businessmen and women, policymakers, public service workers, students, artisans, traders, and the in-between. Ground Zero comes up on Tuesdays from 5 to 6 p.m. and Saturdays 4 to 5 p.m. Ground Zero. This program is exclusive to Invicta 98.9 FM. Tune in.
It's another lovely Saturday evening right here in the beautiful city of Kaduna as we are about to start off on the Never Dull Moment program on radio that's talking about Ground Zero right here on Invicta 98.9 FM. Yes, my name is Ehis Adbon, and Ground Zero is a program that is designed to bring up topical issues in the polity, and with the analyst in-house and, of course, the guest, we are able to try to make some sense out of whatever we are discussing. And today on the program, Ground Zero, is not going to be different, as we will generally be looking at very, very important issues in the polity. I'll be having two guests on the program today that I'll be linking up to via our what's it called again, call conferencing, because of the social distancing that we are observing right here on Invicta. And also I have a guest in-house already seated, and together the three of my guests, we will be doing justice to our subject of discussion today on the program. And on the program today, we will basically be looking at the proposed independent candidacy that it has just gone through the second reading in the National Assembly. And we'll be looking at how it's going to generally affect our democracy, and, of course, looking at how it would also affect the, what's it called now, how it's going to also affect money politics in Nigeria. Basically, that's what we'll be looking at on the program today. And we'll also be looking at those other trending issues in the polity. Like you know, the program Ground Zero is one that is designed to give you an opportunity to also add your voice to whatever the government is doing or whatever that issue is that is trending in the polity. And it's a regular feature right here on Invicta 98.9 FM. My guest on the program today, I have Eddie Ochigbo. He is a veteran journalist and a media strategist. Also on the program today, I have Abdul Bako Usman. He is the President Campaign for Democracy, amongst other cap that he is wearing. And the last but definitely not the least, he's physically here with me in the studio. It's one that it's been a long time that he was on and has been, I wouldn't say old, but he has just been missing in action. And of course, we have been seeing offline, I would say. That's talking about Alexander Oshobu. Alex, you are welcome to Ground Zero.
Thank you very much for having me.
Long time no see. What's been happening?
So it's the path of life we have choosing to tour.
Okay.
So definitely it's up and down.
Okay. All right, so I want to welcome you again to the program, and I'm sure that you are going to add those values that you always add to our program. Okay, let's also give the listeners can be a part of the program by going to our various social media handles where we will be putting, where of course where you'll be adding your voices to our topic of discussion, which is the proposed independent candidacy in Nigeria, how it is going to affect the democracy. And you can do that by going to the Invicta FM Facebook page at Invicta FM Kaduna, where the post is up. You add your voice or your comment or your question to that particular post so that we can read it out here on the program Ground Zero. And of course, if you want to go to our Twitter handle, you can go to at Invicta FM 989 and make sure to remember to hashtag Ground 0989. You can also go to the program specific Twitter handle, that's Ground 0989. Ground 0989, and add your voice to the conversation. Like I always say, remember to hashtag it Ground Zero. That way we will know that the particular post or comment is meant for this program, and we will use your comments and contributions on the program. You can also tweet at me at my personal Twitter handle, which is at @ehis_peacemaker. At @ehis_peacemaker. That's my personal Twitter handle. You can go there, follow me so that we can share ideas together. And the program will always continue even after we round it up here on the live edition of the program. So without wasting much time, I'm trying to hook up with the guests on the program, and the network has not been very, very cooperative, but we are still trying to hook up to the guests on the program. But meanwhile, Alex Oshobo is already here. Let's go straight into it, looking at proposed independent candidacy in Nigeria's democracy, and it has passed the second reading. Now, for the purpose of those that do not really understand what the independent candidacy stands for, what is your understanding of an independent candidate in an election, just like in Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Is. Let me start from the inception of the Fourth Republic, or let me even go back to the First Republic. Yeah. After independence. Nigeria has been a country that has been practicing what we call multi-party system, which means the constitution recognizes, registration of many political parties, except in the Third Republic under Babangida, 1989 constitution, which, recognized two-party system. And coming back to Fourth Republic, it has been multi-party system, if not of recent that INEC deregistered some political parties, and you will agree with me that we have so many cases in courts.
Yeah, Alex, I have Abdul. Just hold the 1 minute. Okay. So Abdul, just hold the line.
Okay, it's my pleasure.
All right, that's Abdul. He's the President Campaign for Democracy and also President Electricity.
Nationwide
Electricity
Provision Advocate.
Okay, Nationwide Electricity Provision Advocate. Yeah, he's the president. We're linking up with Eddie Ochibo any minute from now. So, Alex, yes, you were saying.
Yeah, as I was saying, so it has been multi-party system. That is to say, the Constitution recognizes many political parties, the existence of many political parties. And now talking about independent candidacy, which to me as a person is a welcome development. That is to say, a candidate that will be contesting in an election without coming out from any registered political party. So that is just the simple meaning of independent candidacy, which in every democracy, even in the United States of America, it is being practiced, even though there has not been any election that an independent candidate won, but it strengthens, democratic system. So to me as a person, it's a welcome development because we are going to be seeing some of the advantages of independent candidacy in a democracy.
Okay. All right. Now, looking at... let me come to Abdul Bako while I'm still expecting to connect with Eddie Ochibo. Abdul Bako, independent candidacy. First, give us the president campaign for democracy. Tell us, what's your take on the proposed independent candidates in elective offices in Nigerian democracy?
Yes, it's a pleasure and good evening, listeners, for having me now. Nigeria is not, for me, it's not really right for independent candidates. Independent candidature formally was introduced during the First Republic in 1963. I was not born, although history has shown so. A society where values and virtues, respect for elders has been lost, I think for me it has become impossible for such a candidate to flow properly. Okay. And again, going forward, you agree with me that the framer of the 1979 and 1999 Constitution refused to allow for independent candidates. Although we need to laud who raised that, moved that motion. Yeah. Because the ideology of political party has organized people with some interested manifestos and programs and designed to convince the electorate to give them political power for the purpose of governance remains supreme. And for me, it is more paramount because while the political parties create room for some source of orderliness, the independent candidate will promote impunity, having seen what Nigeria is going through these days. Because the supremacy of the political party is there, but you will see where if elected flag bearers or people who are elected as positions, they tend to undermine the collective integrity of their political party. So allowing such independent candidates will only spell doom for our growth and development in our nascent democracy. For me, that is what I see. Okay. We are now lacking in politicians who have the interest of the nation at heart. We have no more, or we have less patriots that have the nation at heart. We only have egocentric politicians who are best who are best to having self-interest, but they are lacking in taking the whole nation at heart. But I think to some extent, if you allow proper internal democracy to play, there's no need for an independent, desirable candidate. And again, going further, you will agree with me that when millions of Nigeria, for example, come out to contest an independent candidate, the load force will be overwhelming on INEC, who will not even have the capacity to control such. For it is only in our own advancing democracy you see people who are not even qualified trying to vie for position. So it will overwhelm the electoral body to have, let's say, 1 million people vying for president. And that will only be as a status symbol of display on candidature. But it will not really augur well for our nascent democracy. All right.
Okay, Alex, I'll come back to you now. Yeah, you seem to be in support of it.
Of course.
And Abdul seem to be against it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how we are going to marry the two so that both Abdul and Alex. Let's see how we can marry the two. Yes, Eddie, are you with me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Eddie, let's quickly also have your take on the program. What is your take on independent candidacy in Nigeria, looking at the fact that the National Assembly, that it has passed second reading in the National Assembly?
Okay. Thank you very, very much, Ahiz, and my respectful regards to the listening public. Yeah, this is very, very fundamental, the issue of independent candidacy or candidature. Because notice the situation, what the roles the parties play, in a kind of democracy. It's just like platforms, not actually ideological platforms. They don't have ideology, just platforms that a few individuals, who have deep pockets will come and pose as party leaders or whatever they call themselves, position themselves and decide the fate of the people. And when that is done, you see that the people who, can discern, where you have domination, you will know that, look, this is not the proper way to go. So, to that extent, much as I want to agree with President Campaign for Democracy about the complications and the cumbersomeness of independent candidates in giving our own situation, I would like to, diversify a bit by saying that the kind of people we expect to come up as independent candidates in this perspective are people who have clean records, who do not want to even join issues with the political politicians. I mean, how do they call themselves now? The politicians, the
professional politicians.
So to that extent, I want to say that if we try, because we have to make it homegrown, you cannot make it the way it operates in America.
Yeah.
You can prepare in such a way that, look, this thing that we, the electorate, you and me and everybody, we decide that, look, the independent candidate, the candidate short bill should be signed into law, because we have people who do not want to join issues with what they call dirty politics. So let's see whether we can use that as a platform to bring up people who may not have deep pockets, but the integrity, the capacity to lead the people. Because it's about service. But the way things are going, I think it's not about service, it's about serving one's pocket. So I think, to my extent, I want to I support the people who brought the idea, and then that is already in second reading. I think it's a welcome development.
Okay.
Because we will use it to gauge and weigh or create some kind of little the obstacles for those who have signed themselves as professional politicians who decide the will of the people.
Okay.
So let the people be able to carry their destiny in their hands. I think that independent candidature bill will provide that platform.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll come to Alex now.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, you've had Eddie's position, and you've also had Abdul Bako's position on it. Now, taking it further, in practical terms, what are those things that you see, that the values that you see that it would really add, and how will Nigerians benefit from it? And an independent candidate, would he be answerable to the people, or who is he answerable to? Because other politicians probably are answerable to their parties. Who will hold the independent man accountable?
You see, this present party system or political system we practice.
Yeah.
Talking about political parties now.
Yeah.
And in comparison to what we call political parties, that is to say, lack of interest in
party policies.
Yes. If you look at last elections, you would discover the rate at which people participate. In fact, in some states, less than 50% of registered voters actually participated. because there is this lack of interest in it as a result of what political parties offer. Now, if you are a candidate in a party, like some of us have never contested, but by God's grace, I have had a younger one who contested, whom I followed to the latter. So I know what it means by when you are saying party stakeholders. The demand, immediately you indicate interest in contesting in an election, they turn it to ATM machine. They expect you to bring this, bring that. And by the time you win this election, you get to power, you want to recuperate your money. So political party in itself promotes corruption in Nigeria. And this issue of Kaba we are talking about is one of the breeding grounds for Kaba. Because some people feel that we have spent a lot, we have this voice, we have that voice, we put this crowd, we put that crowd, and we should be able to feed in so candidate and so candidate or so nominees into political offices. So before you know it, they already have the grip of the candidates even before winning in an election. But independent candidates coming from the point of political party, because you don't have money, you don't want to participate, not that you are not sound, not that you are not good, not that you don't have what to offer, but because you know what the party demands for, you don't want to go into it because you don't have the money. So independent candidacy will provide a platform for such a candidate who has the interest of politics, but because of money is not willing to go into it. And because of money, he has lost interest. So independent candidacy is a platform whereby if the bill is passed, is a platform for an individual to go into politics, participate, and show your best to the people. And coming to who you are answerable to. Of course, in a democracy, because democracy in itself is government all about the people. When the people is taken away, it's no longer democracy. That's why what we are having today in Nigeria is Kaba, not democracy. It's not for the people. I don't know if you are getting my point.
Yes.
So it's all about the people. So an independent candidate will be answerable directly to the people.
No bridge between parties.
No. What do we call it now? Middleman.
No middleman. Wow. Getting very interesting. I'll now come back to Adu. You've heard Alexander's position on this. Now, Abdul, talking about the role that money plays in politics in Nigeria and the possibility of probably the independent candidate not having to come and buy a form from the party. Take, for example, some parties, their presidential ticket goes for up to 15 million, governorship up to 10 or 5 million, council, Senate, House of Assembly, House of Rep, and all of that, even up to the councillorship. Do you think, as an independent candidate that is credible, probably has the money but does not want to waste it on creating, on padding the pockets of political party officials? Do you think, in the light of this, that the independent candidate, do you think in the light of this that you still want to go kick against independent candidacy, or what would generally be your suggestion?
Yes, I quite appreciate all my two colleagues here, Eddie Echibo and Alex, for having their views very clear. For me, I believe in strengthening institutions. The political parties, as the case may be, are instruments that are created by the Nigerian Constitution. Am I right?
Yeah.
So the regulations and the regulations should be uppermost. If there is a gap in whatever institution we have, the best way of taking care of such impediments is by regulating and making sure that things are done properly, not by creating another avenue of going further without having a remedy to the present ailments we have at hand. Yes, The EFCCs are there. The independent corrupt practices are there to regulate what campaign finances should be. So for me, I look at them not to be doing the needful, rather, or I see leading political parties, that is the ruling political parties, having their way in taking public funds into politics. They do that merely because at times by saying, okay, they are going to have a launch of appeal fund for raising funds for their movement and campaign. But the regulatory agents, if properly put in place and strengthen the cause of our democracy, I think there is no such money-bagged politicians that will come in and that will hinder a proper party democracy that is within the concept of our democracy.
Okay.
Having lost all this, that is why we are faced with these challenges of money-bagged hijacking the system.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Abdul. Now, before I go to Eddie, before I go back to Eddie or Chibo, I'll quickly take this, then I'll get back to Eddie or Chibo in a minute's time from now.
Haba, not cough for our face now, eh? Cough into your bent elbow. With this coronavirus, will be safe everywhere. And you don't even wash your hand with soap before you begin eat. You're supposed to wash your hand for at least 20 seconds with soap under running water, or make it for use hand sanitizer. Make I jejely go sit down for another chair. Make I far from you small. Make una free me, I beg. I beg, make you know beg. It go better, make all of us shift very well. Make we for day far from each other small, so that we go fit prevent the spread of this coronavirus.
Make you take responsibility to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Avoid area where people plenty, and make you give at least 2 meters physical distance from other people them. Wash your hands with soap and running water regularly, and make you know they touch your eyes, face and mouth if you never wash your hands.
Make you take responsibility. Make you do it for yourself and not for us.
This message now from Federal Ministry of Health, Nigeria Center for Disease Control, and them partners.
All right, welcome from that commercial timeout. Now going back to Eddie Ochibo. Eddie Ochibo. Eddie Ochibo, are you with me?
I can hear you.
All right. Now, still looking at independent candidacy and also looking at the position of Abdul in respect of having systems and having structures in place, and how these systems and structures could be to stand as regulators in the system. How do you think, look, take into consideration Nigeria's unique attributes, how do you think that an independent candidate will be able to survive in the midst of, if I can use the word, of sharks in quotes, in the toga of political parties and associations? How do you think the independent candidate will be able to survive?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ahid. You know, we have, talked about the issue of strengthening our institutions rather than individuals. You know, it is the major predicament we have today is that we have weak institutions with powerful individuals who have taken over the power of the people and related it to themselves. So as long as you have weak institutions, you will continue to speak how people move about one or two innovations like this independent candidature thing now. It's coming about because certain things are not going right.
Yeah.
Where that the ballot is not being decided by the people. Right now, even the worst scenario now, perhaps that is the choice of the people goes there by providence. The court will even No. So it's even the courts now that are deciding the choice of the people. Who is not supposed to? Who tells you that institutions are weak? And then going back to that independent candidature, we keep trying other things. Why couldn't that be tried? We keep trying a lot of things. We try this. Why couldn't that be tried? In the first place, all the kind of trials, look at the kind of data we have. We have more than 1 million data, and yet there's no accurate data. Why don't you try that one? Why don't you try that? At least, I know that there are contributions in terms of fundraising. So people can, report and decide to give, even if it is 100 naira, if a million people give 100 naira, that's plenty of money to the candidate.
Yeah.
So these are some of the issues we should be looking at, how to return power to the people, rather than making it so people sit in their kitchen one night, and this is just, they just put people, around, with square holes to don't work that way. So I do and fully support the oil profit, even though there are a lot of work to be done by the people who are crafting the bill. Craft it so that there are no lacuna. Craft it very well, so that independent candidate will stand up with head high, so that they don't use, technicalities to defeat him in court and so on and so forth.
Okay.
That's the way I look at it.
All right. Thank you so much, Eddie. I'll come to Alex now. Yeah.
Yeah. For an independent candidate to actually survive the sharks, in quote, the first step to be taken is political education. When you engage the people, you educate the people about what democracy is all about. Because eliminating corruption now is at the party level.
Okay.
That does not boil down to the proper election where we have physically witnessed how money is even being moved to polling units in Nigeria. So when you educate the masses, the people, when you educate them, political education, the National Orientation Agency is doing its work, all other stakeholders are doing their work, the people will be having better knowledge of what it means. But it's quite unfortunate that our politicians, they think far ahead in a more devastating way. I mean, calculating ahead. Now they've locked up people. Artificial hunger is everywhere. So by the time any election comes, 5 naira, 10 naira matters a lot to an average Nigerian out there. I don't know if you're getting my point.
Yeah.
But with proper education, that no matter what these people give to you, it doesn't take you anywhere. Then an independent candidate can survive the challenge. Another step is the ideology. If an independent candidate actually have a better, because I think Bako made mention of it earlier on, but I've not seen any of our political party with any known ideology in Nigeria. So an independent candidate, if you come with a good ideology that can sell you out, I know Nigerians are knowing this thing better. And you might be on the good side of history. So taking some of these steps will help an independent candidate to survive these sharks.
Okay. All right. 081-40,989 and 070-87-800-989 are the numbers to dial to add your voice to our conversation this afternoon. So we have our first caller. Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening, Mr. B.
Yes. Good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Thank you very much. This is our President Jibril from Israel.
All right, Jibril.
Yes. I have divergent opinions with respect to independent candidates.
All right, what's yours?
What I mean by that, that I came away against the position of independent candidates on the grounds that independent candidates could lead to dictatorship. This is democracy, right?
Say again.
Democracy is independent candidates to give rise to dictatorship or authoritarian. What I mean by dictatorship is that this is democracy. Democracy is government majority. It is during the era of political party, whereby a given candidate are elected under the person of the political party. What candidate can be checkmated by the mass political party. But an independent candidate cannot be examined or checkmated by a political party. If he was elected, two of them could be declared that he was elected by the masses. Right? Hence, there's no political party that is elected under the platform. I will follow you. The masses may not get access to him. They even attract him. Right?
Okay.
He says he has arrived. I will follow you.
But
he says he has arrived. Nobody can checkmate his efficacy.
What is checkmating one's excesses now? Is the power not derived from the people? Wouldn't it be even easier for all parties to pool their resources and checkmate whoever is independent?
Yes. What I mean by that is that in a situation where somebody is elected not under the problem of political party, the person says that if the position that is given to him, I will follow you.
Yeah.
You know African mentality. He believes he may claim that it's not the masses that really voted for him. Hence, it cannot be controlled, and there's no instrument to control him, which is political party. But if the political party directs the government on what to do, right? The government is going to direct him. They control the government. But
looking at our political scene now, haven't we seen situations where the individual is ready to work and the party is slowing that person down? It is very common in our scenario in Nigeria. So how would we say that the party rather would make him work better when in our recent political history it is the party that seems to be slowing down the individuals?
Thank you, you know this is democracy.
Yes.
And the fact of democracy, democracy is government of the masses, not oligarchy.
Yes,
not authoritarianism.
Yes,
that's right. That's what believe with majority vote. Not an individual person.
Yeah.
If the people will come out to elect a unique candidate, not on the power of political party, I will follow you.
Yes.
To compare, the point of my position is the country may not be controlled directly by a unique instrument. He believes that he position is just a man in the society. And secondly, the person may not be able to control by certain instruments. If the person is going to affect no instrument to control him. Because we're not defensive. Naturally, there are people that are of dictatorship.
All right.
And there are some people that are Democrats.
Yes. I get you clearly. Thank you so much for your contributions.
Yeah, Mr. Is.
Yeah.
Political party constitutionally is not given any power whatsoever to dictate.
Hello?
Yes. Eddie Ochiba, are you still with us? Oh, we lost him. Yeah, go on, please.
They can only play the role of an advisor.
Yes.
If you mention dictators all over the world, renowned dictators that the history will never forget, talking about someone like Adolf Hitler of Germany, he came out of a political party.
Yeah.
In fact, the purge started from political party members. If you mention Saddam Hussein of Iraq, the purge started with political party members. What am I trying to say here? It's not the party that is the instrument of control, rather the constitution. And most dictators emerge when they are able to subject the constitution. So independent candidacy, talking about the person becoming a dictator, of course, these are political science or government as a subject in the class. But in reality, in practice, it is the constitution that brings about checkmating the rule of law, which you derive from the constitution, which is the people.
All right, let's take this call. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening. You are welcome to Ground Zero.
My name is Comrade Gabriel, the Tesla man.
All right, Comrade Gabriel, let's have your take.
Before I go on, may I use this opportunity to thank Ehis for the honor given to me by bringing directly what Musa Bala promised.
Oh.
The only thing that is left is I didn't make the handshake with him, so I reserve that until after the Matability handshake.
No problem.
So my own contribution is I think the National Assembly should concentrate more on how to get this country back to instead of this independent candidate. They have the right to order immediately that this girl that come from Malaysia, the Nigerian doctor, you also go into research. Have the right also to pass a bill directly in the National Assembly to make sure that the steel industry go back to and stop the competition. They have the right to make sure that the refineries are back to feed, so we can no more importing fuel. They have the right also to make sure that the textile industries come back to life, so we will not import, Nigerian Apple will not import even online of their uniform from outside. If they can concentrate on that and offer employment to millions of Nigerians.
Comrade Gabriel, connected to independent candidacy.
Yes, we can even select anybody from the studio there to be our candidate, and definitely is going to win once the country is winning. But as long as these politicians create certain things that will remain poor, will be attracted to receive money and not to vote independent candidates. Let them make sure that this country come back to life, and I assure you, sir, that anybody in that studio that came out is going to be elected.
All right, thank you, Comrade Gabriel. All right. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero.
Good evening. My name is Kamis from Mondo.
All right, Kamis, let's have your take.
I think whether independent candidacy or coming to party, it all comes down to attitude. You have an attitudinal problem in this country. More than independent candidacy has its own challenges, and even the political parties.
Okay.
It all boils down to attitude. Because when you are saying that independent candidacy, where is the structure? Do you know what it means to campaign around the country? Where is the structure? We have 120,000 polling units in this country. He has the money to pay the agents. Don't talk as if this thing are cheap. You have to spend money in democracy. So cheap. So it's not boils down to attitudinal problem. If we change our attitude, whether through coming out through political party or independent candidacy, we succeed.
All right, Kamis, can I ask you this question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What if an extremely popular candidate comes on board and people are ready to use their monies to campaign for him all over the country without him necessarily knowing the people? Is it not possible in Nigeria also?
It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. It's not as if it's possible. That if in quote the shark people talk about to allow, then it will have the control of the National Assembly. These are problems too. It will only cause unrest because this elite will always find a way. If an independent candidate succeeds, they will always find a way of causing problems.
Okay.
Dragging, thinking up issues. So it's all boils down to attitude.
But
we need to change our
Kamis, I love your angle. But do you think too that a candidate needs to control the National Assembly to rule well, or rather to have good projects that the National Assembly will love?
You don't need to control them. You need to do this job. But if this party are in control of the National Assembly, what do you think will happen with this attitude of our politicians?
Do we know even if at the National Assembly level there would also be independent persons there?
Since nobody knows the future.
All right.
Let's wait and see.
Yes, beautiful. Let's wait and see. Kamis, thank you so much for calling into the program. I love your contribution. All right, 081400989 and 070-87-800-989 are the numbers to dial. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Nisagwo.
Yes, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Yes, this is Ada. I'm calling from Angwa Sunday.
All right, Ada.
Yes. Honestly, this topic is a very good one. I've been longing for this before now.
All right.
This issue of independent candidacy is a welcome one. I would really love Nigerians to look into it. One, it will enable the masses to reach, it will enable the person who wins to be reachable. Because we have been ruled by political parties, and of a truth, people are suffering. Because the person that wins will be controlled by the party that sponsor or he or she came out from. But an independent candidate is coming from a neutral background who also will have the interest of the masses at heart. An independent candidate to be able to go into the public to see what the people are feeling. An independent candidate to be able to have his ears on ground to listen to the cry of the masses.
Yeah.
That is my own point of view. And an independent candidate will not be able to dance to the tune of cabals, and will also not be able to dance to the tune of kingmakers, who are they say they are the people in power. They will not be able to dance to the cabals. They will be able to reach out to the poor masses. This is my own point of view, where I'm coming from.
All right. Thank you so much, Ada, for adding your voice to our conversation this evening.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero.
Good evening, Mr. G.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Sabala.
All right, Mr. Bala, welcome to the program.
Yes, Mr. Alex, good evening.
Evening, sir. Longest time, sir.
Yes, I join you guys late. Eddie is with you. I greet you. And I also greet Comrade man.
Yeah.
You see, on the issue of independent candidates, it's a good idea. But the issue is that, is it practicable? We have instances in Nigeria where the electorate ought to have even abandoned those they claim have dominated everything, but they refuse. For example, I was telling the youth, must you be a candidate in PDP or APC? If APC says 50 million naira for form,
yeah,
why don't you go to Labour Party that may give you free of charge? Test your popularity before the electorate.
Yeah.
Like what Camille says, what matters is the person in you, the attitudinal action of an individual, not even the party or even independent candidate.
Yeah.
Because even in the best democracy in the world, that is the United States of America, they do have position for independent candidates. But did you even hear them? You don't hear them. So they hardly make way or they hardly make name. So it could have been a very good idea. But even if they introduce, for example, Nigeria, I believe it will work probably at the councillor level, even up to the chairman. But anything above that, I think it will be very difficult for anybody to emerge as an independent candidate.
Yeah.
If the person enough not to by the time that the person enough intend to do the right thing, honestly, will get it right.
Wow.
If they get it wrong, it will be wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Musa Bala. All right, 081400989 and 07087800989 are the numbers to dial to add your voice to our conversation. Unfortunately, we've not had much people on our social media page dropping their comments or their opinion. Let's take this call while we wait for them. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Macalido Ferrari from Sabotisha.
Say again.
Macalido Ferrari.
All right. Hello.
Hello. Are you hearing me?
Yes, let's have your take. Oh, we lost him. 081400989 and 07087800989 are the numbers to dial to add your voice to our conversation. We'll be going back to Eddie Ochibo and Abdul Baku in a minute for them to drop for us their rounding up comments. All right, let's take this call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, you are welcome to Ground Zero. Yeah. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Peter from Western State, Nigeria.
All right, quickly, let's have your take.
Yes, in fact, I didn't intend to call, but then because of one of your callers, which was making a point, and you agreed with his point, and you now ask him a question. If that independent candidate, suppose is a well-known person, and a recognized person, and there are people who have the money, what if they come out and sponsor? Yes, I agree with that. It's a very nice idea, but then how are we sure those people who sponsor him will not turn around to be the one again to be that type of cabal that we are calling about, who will spoil his government? Do you understand me?
Yes, I do.
Yes. So please, that is why I'm lying on. Because that person, if he cannot come out, because I was thinking that how can one, as an independent candidate, come out to campaign for himself? I said, you need somebody to guide you, support you, bring in idea, sharing idea. But you, as an individual person, how can your idea convey the whole nation? But now, as you come up with your question to ask that particular person, you open my eyes, I say, okay, what about those things they come out to spoil? The same people who will sponsor because of their own hidden agenda. They will come up again after giving the position. The same people will start directing you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll go back to Eddie Ochigbo and Abdul Bako for their parting shots. I'll start from Abdul Bako. What would be your parting shots on the program today?
Yes, I quite appreciate you, and I love the views of those that called in. But for me, I see we strengthening our institutions to be more paramount rather than creating more avenues of creating more institutions without strengthening those one present.
Okay.
We are complaining that political parties like ideology and core principles. So we as a nation, if we don't strengthen our institutions, we will be lacking such values too. So I crave that we create more institutions and we strengthen our institutions rather than creating more, as the case is.
All right. Okay, Eddie Ochigbo.
Thank you very much, Ahis.
Yes, what will be your parting shots?
My parting shot will be that in Nigeria we talk too much. We talk and talking shots all over, and without implementation. We talk. We have all the best of professionals, best of bankers, everything, but we like talking to them. So there should be less talk, so that we move ahead. And because even now the independent candidature is being questioned because of this talking too much. People are now, asking, is it this idea of somebody coming to do the Bravazoo and then deceive people? Because you have done a lot of things that have never been actually concretized in the proper manner.
Okay.
So and that leaves a very big question mark, on us as a country. I wish that we will continue to have the political will to implement issues that are raised that are more or less to the benefit and the overall good of the people.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll come to Alex now.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I think the last caller raised a concern, which is those that will be sponsoring the independent candidate. We did not form the cabal. The last election, AAC, that is the party that brought up Suwiri, the party received 150 million naira from Nigerians. These were monies drawn from poor Nigerians, 10 naira, 50,000, 100,000, and it made up 150 million. I think that we answered that. So in a political space, we usually say that judiciary is the last hope of the masses. Politically speaking, I want to say independent candidacy will be the hope for the poor, especially those that are interested in politics but do not have the money. It's an avenue, it's a platform for them to come up and sell the idea to Nigerians. They might not necessarily win the election now, but as time goes on, it will even strengthen the institution itself. So that is my own parting shot, is the hope for the poor.
Wow. The hope for the poor and need to strengthen the system, and of course the way to go. Opinions of my guest on the program today, and also the callers did add value to the program by also giving us fresh angles to how we should see all of this. But one thing that I'll say to Nigerians, whenever we meet to talk and discuss, our aim and purpose is to create a platform where the great country Nigeria can use as a springboard to reach higher altitude in life. Okay? The program Ground Zero is a regular feature right here on Invicta 98.9 on Tuesdays from 5 to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 4 to 5. And of course, you can be a part of the program by going to our various social media handles on Invicta FM, which is Invicta FM 989 on Twitter or Invicta FM Kaduna on Facebook. You can also go to Ground Zero Twitter handle at Ground 0989. Ground 0989. Drop a comment, click the follow button, and of course you can also drop topics that you want us to discuss by direct message. DM them to me, and not forgetting too that you can also follow @his_peacemaker on Twitter and of course on Instagram, so that we can keep the conversation going even after the live presentation of the program. That's about the size of the program. I want to sincerely thank and appreciate Eddie Ochidbo and Abdul Bako Usman for their great contributions via phone, and of course to Alex Oshobu for being in the studio with me today. Alex, thank you so much for having time to be on Ground Zero.
You're welcome, sir.
All right.
My pleasure.
Until next time, I'll be on again for another package of the program, Ground Zero. I'll say this to you like always. The rain has started. Plant a tree. Water it or watch the rain. Water it and watch it grow. May the good mighty Lord bless and keep us all. I also like to say a very lovely good evening to Elder Daria Adebanjo, and also not forgetting Chief Godwin Abebe. Thanks for all the advice and all the props. With people like you behind me, I can always reach for higher heights. I am the peacemaker with a passion for crowd satisfaction. Let's see next week.